Good afternoon, folks. It is your boy LL Kulak. I'm happy to be back with the guys. I've been gone for some time, but today I'm really excited because we have a local star who's joining us today because we're about to start the Now in Session. Miss Victoria, thank you so much for being with us. We're so excited to have you. It's always great to have one of our local stars and people that we know engage in the work that we do. I wanted you to get this opportunity to share a little bit about yourself, and then we're definitely going to be asking more about the content that you've been creating and things that you've been doing in the community, the work that you do. So for the audience that don't know Victoria, she is from Fresno, California. Could you give us an opportunity to learn a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Victoria. I'm a Virgo.
Ooh, whoa, Virgo.
I'll start out with that. But yeah, I'm a content creator. I focus mainly on Lao videos, but a little bit of local stuff too. I come from nonprofit, or I used to volunteer a lot with nonprofit. I did about 12 years with LECF, and then took a break, started doing some videos, and then now I'm back with Sabarifa. So
wow.
So I'm just always going back to the community.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we, us, as we think about guests that come on our show, we think about people that really help uplift the community, and I think for myself personally, I've been noticing your work throughout the years. Can you just share with the audience, what does that feel like to be such a young, loud person to really engage in the media world that you're trying to do and influence?
Yeah, I've always had a knack for making people laugh. And so I try to hold in that little talent and do what I can for the community. Because if you don't know, for me, what I started doing the videos is because when I was in LECF, we were doing something called AB 1393 bill, where we were trying to introduce the Southeast Asian history into K through 12.
I remember that bill.
And it was crazy because they totally didn't even put Lao people's voices in it at all. And so they were trying to rewrite the bill. And I was just I went to the Sacramento event and I felt like, oh, I really need to do something. I'm around all these Lao people. They're all making noises, they're politicians, educators, doing something in the world. And I'm like, what can I do? If I post about it, nobody really cares, right? So I just started making these little skits and sketches and really build my platform. And then when I'm talking about things like these bills, people are listening now, because before people weren't really listening. So that's why I started doing what I did. And then from there, I was just always doing things for the community in my way now.
Sure.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just thinking, why you pick such a niche market instead of going the mainstream where it's a little bit easier to get more followers? What made you think I'm just gonna go with my community and focusing on that?
I'm be honest with you, I've always wanted to be a celebrity of some sort. And I tried to do other things. I was trying to sing, I was trying to do outfits of the day, and nothing worked for me. And when I actually fell into doing these videos, that was when people started to notice me more. Mm-hmm. And it was really crazy because you didn't think that doing things for your community, you don't think about making Lao sketches about my mom or something like that would get people interested in me. Because if I really think back about it, the first person that was a fan of me and came up to take a picture with me was a Mexican guy at a Cambodian event. And it was through making Lao videos. That's crazy for me.
So you always want to be on TV. Did you ever want it to be a Disney kid or Nickelodeon kid growing up?
To be honest with you, I had no money back then. So I always wanted to be a PBS kid.
So you want to be a PBS kid?
I wanted to be on Zoom. Do you guys know what Zoom was?
But no, Barney. Did you want to jump on Barney back when you were a kid?
No, Zoom.
Dude, what the hell is Zoom?
Yeah. Zoom was it was a show of I want to say preteens, and they just came and did activities together, random ass activities. And I was like, I want to be that girl, on PBS.
So that didn't really stop you, right? As far as you were saying that you were trying different avenues of trying to come up and be popular, be a celebrity, right? I mean, what kept you going? You tried one thing, you failed. You tried another, and you failed. What kept you going?
I don't know. I always had this dream of people looking up to me as like having influence in their life. Like I always wanted someone to be like, oh yeah, I want to thank Victoria for like being that influence to me. You know? Yeah.
I can feel that.
Yeah, so I just kept doing that. I wanted to be the good in the world, and I tried everything I could to, reach that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because, everyone starts off when they're a baby. Like, bright lights, right? They're innocent. So, as we grow up and our generation grows, that light starts flickering off into the sunset. And I'm so proud of the fact that you're keeping that shit lit, right? So, for Sabbati Fest, all right, this is something you're very much involved with. Okay, so how can we get a seat in?
Straight to the.
Let me put you on the volunteer list.
Real quick, so for the audience, they don't know what Sabbati Fest is.
Oh yeah, please explain Sabbati Fest
what
first.
Sabbati Fest
and
is.
then get us a seat.
Okay.
Yes, and then get us a spot.
Okay, so for me, what I see as Sabbati Fest is, it started being a festival for Laos, right? For Lao entertainers. But then it started expanding to Thai and Hmong, and now we even have Linda Trang Dai there.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
But is she gonna sing or not?
Yeah, she's gonna sing.
All right.
I'm gonna bring a Vietnamese sandwich for her to sign for me. It's gonna be great. But for me, Sabbati Fest is something that I really feel proud of to be a part of, because I feel like we have so much talent in our Southeast Asian community, right? And you know how hard it is to just get our views, get likes, to just be out there. You think about Coachella, you think about Bonnaroo. What Lao Cambodian artists are on there, right?
Right.
We don't really see it. It's so hard to get that spot, right?
Well, I think you also think about music. You know how music brings so many different
People
peoples
together.
you
Yeah.
know? And the sound and the popularity of music nowadays has grown tremendously, and is definitely tapped into the younger crowd too. And you have these young artists that you guys are locked in with, Sapana and GX2, those guys that are over millions of viewers on YouTube. Like, how does that shape, the community and bringing everybody together, besides a unique different platform of education or whatnot, right? Now you think about music, how do we bring all that stuff together, right?
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit about that?
Well, let me finish my thought first before I forget it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, okay, so for Coachella and Bonnaroo, you don't really see our people there. And I know for a fact that our people are talented, and we just don't see them at that stage.
Yep.
So creating Sabbati Fest is giving them that platform, that stage that they deserve. Because how long is it until we get invited to those stages? Like, we need to create that for our own people.
Sure.
I think too that we've only been in this country maybe 40 years, right? 40 years or so.
Yeah.
Like, our people just barely started coming over, right? And we kind of assimilated into the culture, and it's like, yeah, we're fighting our way up. And like you said, the platform is going to be pretty big for our people. It's really going to put everybody on the map. It's going to be historical. That's what I think.
We talk about your name, the One Lao Girl. How did you come up with that?
I feel like, I don't even know. Okay, so I think there's this dance company, and they're more feminine, gay, and their name was That One Company. And I think that's where I got it from. I want to say, I'm going to give props to Dennis, because he's the Lao guy that
one
started
guy?
it. Yeah, he's the one that started That One Company. I want to say that was in the back of my mind when I was thinking of a username, because I was thinking like, I can't really think of something that is too loud where people can't say it, but at least this one is like, if you're thinking about anybody else, oh, do you know that One Lao Girl? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
You think about putting out content, right? How challenging and difficult that is even for viewers watching this too, when they're trying to create young boys and girls. Like, how difficult was it for this One Lao Girl, your character, to be put out that way in the beginning? Was it challenging for you?
Oh yeah, I was hella scared.
Yeah.
My first video was the four girls you meet at Lao New Year.
Oh.
And so it was like the gangster one, the hipster one, the one that's a show off, and then the one that's not Lao. Yeah.
All Lao person, right?
And like, I was like, this is gonna be funny. I believe that it's gonna be so funny.
Yeah.
But I was so scared to post because I was just like, you know, sometimes loud people are the biggest haters.
They are. They are. That's true.
true.
Like
It's true.
knowing
It's
my
not
family.
just the loud people. It's
But
the
we talked
Cambodian
about
people
that.
too.
Yeah, we talked about that in our previous podcast where
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of the support, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a lot of people. Everybody just hating on each other, you know. And the thing is too, like we need to help each other, uplift each other,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that's the reason why we started this was because of that. You know, we want to put people in our culture on the map, you know. And for you, kind of started. How did you deal with the haters and stuff like that? You know, how did you kind of overlook that stuff and then continue on your path?
Oh, I'm a petty person.
Are you?
I love it. I love to fight people.
I like it.
I like to add fuel to the fire.
Oh,
so
okay.
whenever they say like
Speaking
talk
to my
shit
heart
to me,
right there.
I just comment back. What else? How do you really feel? Like, and then they keep telling me. I'm like, good. Keep
And?
my engagement
And?
up.
Yeah.
Get my comments up.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really make it until you get some trolls on your
That's
comments,
true.
right?
If you don't have haters, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing
What's
it wrong.
the Cat Williams says?
Yeah.
If you got 10 haters,
Yeah.
try to get to 20 by next week.
That's so true. That's so true. I mean, you think about your title, that one loud girl, and I followed you probably the last 2.5 years, and we probably had past conversations before, and I was like, man, you know what? Since you started this one loud girl, I think there's a movement. And usually in the Southeast Asian culture, I mean, the other guys could chime in. You think about when one person does it, then you see more influence personnel in the space, right? They wanted to create, even Charles, the realtor guy right here, right?
I know.
Is creating videos and doing all that, right? And it's so exciting to see that. Like when you are the beginning of a pioneer that's influencing this community or the work in this space, like how do you feel? And do you see anything different in the Lao culture with social media today?
Yeah, because the person before me was BGZ TV. So I don't know if you remembered him, but he used to like dress up as like his mom and
Yes,
do like,
yes,
like
yes,
skits,
yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was the only one
No.
really doing it. He was basically like, I forgot his name. He's the one with the glasses.
Yeah,
Are you looking at
does
me
it.
like I would know?
I mean, I'm just thinking because he's
He does his
Cambodian.
comedy skits in
Oh,
Laos,
okay.
and he's
Yeah.
he's a funny guy, funny dude. Yeah.
You talking about Chile?
No.
No,
Chile, I was thinking like he's like
Oh,
hella
okay.
Chile. Like
Hella Chile, yeah.
I know hella
So,
Chile though. Yeah.
He's just like that, but like for the Lao community. But we didn't really have anything else other than that. And I want to say that I was probably one of the first Lao girls to start
Nice.
doing sketches. I want to, for me, I think I was.
No, you are. Because I haven't seen any other ones.
I said the same thing. I was telling the guys too, like to have our first female, a local person, a young person, right? To highlight her story, to uplift this community, a better person would be Victoria for this, you know. And I think the last 2.5 years, I've seen your growth. You know, it's beautiful, it's tremendous, you know. And I think this is like a kickstart of all the other stuff that we want to see this community do so well. And so, yeah, no, we really appreciate your content. Like, what is the next thing that you're trying to work on now to really blossom and get you to that celebrity status?
That was one of my questions I
Yeah.
had for her.
Yeah.
It's okay. Great minds think alike.
Great minds
right?
think alike.
Right now, I feel like, so I was doing it before TikTok came on. And then when TikTok came on, everybody started posting up content because it's so much easier. Everything was short form. So after this, I'm thinking of going back long form and going back to YouTube and creating longer sketches and talking more to people and engaging with the community more. So I think that's my next step, is just creating longer videos that really dive into kind of like what you guys are doing, into other people's lives and how they're influencing the community too.
I've noticed you did a lot of food blogs lately. Different from the sketch and acting and, you know, comedy. How does that translate to the work that you're doing now? Are you liking the food blogging more often?
To be honest, I was just doing it because I'm already eating out, and then everything is content. Every single thing is content. So I was just like,
It doesn't always
just
have to
film.
tie back in, right?
Yeah, there's nothing very important about it. I'm just eating. I'm just trying to get content. I was just trying to be consistent.
So
as possible.
you're becoming the content instead of creating one.
Yeah.
I think that you're tying it in a way where you're going about your day and you're still able to produce a product and then kind of sell it to the audience. You know what I mean? And I think that that's great because you do have passion for it, you know, and for you to kind of find that niche and then do that, not a lot of people had that creativity in the world, you know, and for you to kind of find your passion in doing that, I think that's pretty good.
I think sharing yourself is kind of content in itself, right? You're opening yourself up to the community. So that's also wonderful. That's what we're trying to do here too, right? And that's why we didn't want to always go into the just interviewing our guests. We wanted to interview ourselves eventually and share with the audience what our thought processes were. So that's one of the, come on guys, help me out.
Because I think that everybody has a story to tell, and everybody lived their lives so differently. Like, we might be from like the same hood, but we have different experiences, and how we react to those experiences are different. So I really like listening to other people's story.
Well, it's kind of like what Drake said. We're in the same building. We got different views.
Yeah.
So just because we came up in the same place,
quoting celebrities.
Well, yeah, dude, that's what we do. But anyways, but like, you know, just because you grew up the same place, even in the same household, like, you guys have different mindset and grow up differently. And with you doing social medias, and which platform do you see that giving you the most return?
Oh,
Facebook.
Facebook Reels.
So it's not Instagram or TikTok?
Here's what I think. TikTok is really good to reach a big audience, but it's by luck. And then Instagram is good if you want to build a profile. But Facebook is really good for engagement because people don't give a shit about how their feed look. Instagram is all curated, but Facebook, people don't care. They just post whatever they want. They like whatever they want, and they comment and say whatever they want. So it's very natural on Facebook.
So people on Facebook is used to being mean then. That's why they can just say whatever the hell they want.
That's because all the old people are on Facebook.
That's
They're so mean.
Speaking of old people, this question was on my mind. Like, as you are doing this social media and content, like, how receptive are the OGs? Maybe like a feedback from your parents. What did they think about you being in this space?
Oh, they think I'm crazy.
They do?
They're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's so different for them, huh?
Yeah, they're just like, because for our community, you don't want to lose face, right?
Yes.
Right.
You don't want to sienna. You want to look as presentable as possible.
Jumping hit young Victoria.
Yeah, it's like, oh, have you seen your daughter?
Yeah.
Why is she dancing like that?
And like, I remember one post that you put up was something about your mom saying about your pants. Tell that story. I don't want to ruin it.
I think
well, you got to share now.
You have to share it.
it was like mostly in Laos.
Yeah. So
Let me explain.
Speak in English.
Yes,
I'll try to
in
jump
English.
in Laos.
You think about somebody coming from Laos or Cambodia.
okay.
They're not wearing yoga pants, okay?
They do not.
So like yoga pants are very tight. Whatever. Okay, so I was wearing yoga pants and my mom was like, oh, what's the word she say?
Bum, bum.
He chow bum bum. He chow. I forgot, ulu or something like that. Basically, she was saying like, oh, your pussy's all out.
It's about
Like, I can see everything. I'm like, I'm just standing here. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, so I recorded her and I sent it to my friend A, who's just from Laos. So I was like, can you translate for me? And she was like, she said, your pussy is so fat that
it's about to pop out.
He-man chulu. He-man is he is pussy. If you didn't expect that, he's like he-man musnako.
I know it.
So you got a moose knuckle.
I was like, that's not even Laos. I said, is there even mooses in Laos?
How fluent are you in Laos?
I'm not. I want to say I'm like a third grade level.
Because I understand when you speak Laos and stuff, I understand it. But then, there's a lot of people out there that kind of mix the two language where they have Laos and English. And they mix them and we still understand them, do you speak fluent Laos to your parent?
No. Okay, so
You mix it
when
up?
I do my videos, people always say, "Oh, you're so fluent." They don't know that it's 100 takes.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
am practicing.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not trying to release something bad and have these OGs on Facebook talk shit like you can't even speak Lao. What the fuck
Yeah.
are you even posting on here for?
Yeah.
But I practice a lot, especially because I'm doing my videos and I do mix it. But here's the thing is that people think that I'm fluent, but I just have a Southern accent. So it just sounds so rough that it
Yeah.
sounds
Southern Lao, so
fluent.
maybe-
Type of say and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
but I'm from
South,
Bakse.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're from
Oh,
the
dang.
South too. So
You from the South too?
yep, from the South too. Yeah, so I understood you pretty well.
Me?
You from the South too?
No, I'm from Connecticut. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm from the Philippines. What are you talking about?
Charles is American, man.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
from Connecticut, man. We're first gen. I'm first generation.
Let me
now.
rephrase that question.
Yeah,
Where's your family from?
Oh, okay.
He say he don't know.
where parents from? Where your parents
So
from?
my mom is from Bakse, but
Yeah.
my dialect is more of Tai Vieng. So it's a little
the northern.
Yeah,
Tai
they say
Vieng is
Siang
like-
Pe'ek, which
The
is like,
main-
you know, the main
It's like the
character.
city.
you're a paek.
Yeah, I'm a Pe'ek.
That's the main.
I would
That's the
say
main
like
language.
Vientiane is
Protagonist.
like New York,
I
where
should just walk out right now.
So
I was gonna
it's
say like
all out there.
Vientiane is
Where's
like
your
New
family
York,
from?
and then Bakse is very like
Southern, man.
Southern Texas. Like
Yeah.
it's so much twang.
Yeah.
So that's why they think I'm fluent, but I just have so much twang in my
she
speech.
country. That's what it
Which
is.
part of Cambodia is your family from?
Oh, I'm born in the Philippines, so I'm representing the Philippines.
So you're next to the
So let me
ocean.
ask that question
Oh,
again.
what city in the Philippines?
Let me ask that question again. Which
Where
part
your
of Cambodia is your family from?
Hey, you have to ask the right question, right?
That's the answer to another question, bro.
Let's see. Man, I know we weren't from the coast. I think we're more central.
Central.
Yeah, but they take more after the southern part of Cambodia because they're more, let's just say, nice and humble. Whereas the northern type of, if I'm getting this wrong, you guys can fucking ream me. I don't give a shit. But but they're more mean and
They're more mean.
You hear this, Northern Cambodians?
Yeah.
North Cambodia is mean.
like they tend to look down on the southern part. Let's just say that.
Okay. So they're high class.
Yeah.
Is Northern Cambodia closer to China?
Yeah, it's north.
Oh, they're the light skinned one.
I
That's
mean,
why.
like,
That's why they look down on you. They're the light skinned
I gotta
Cambodians.
see. I gotta C minus in geography.
That is a little bit closer to China.
I could only locate Laos.
Again, Victoria
But okay.
Victoria was born in Fresno, California. Her family's from Laos.
I don't even know where Chico is.
Chico?
Yeah, Chico's north.
Okay,
North
so
of-
Yeah, closer to China.
yeah.
don't know.
We're not interviewing you for your knowledge on geography. It's about your being funny.
So,
Knew I should have paid attention.
so take me back, Victoria. Like there's young Lao girls out there right now that want to do content creator, whether it could be a funny video, educational video, whatever. Is there a message that you want to share with these young girls or even boys as well?
I'll probably say when you're doing content, you just gotta know that you're sharing yourself to the world.
Sure.
And everything is archived. Everything is going to be documented. Everybody's going to see all this. So you have to be really okay with yourself.
Right.
Like for me, what I was trying to do before, like trying to do outfits and shit, like I thought I was hot. Like my clothes from the thrift store is going to be, trending or some shit.
You're listening to that Macklemore song.
Like if I'm looking at my appearance wise, I'm gonna rate myself a 6'7", solid 6'7". I'm not a 10, right? But I'm okay with that. I don't put value in my appearance. I put value in what I'm strong at is I give a lot of love to people, right? And that's where my strength come.
Yeah.
I could tell people's story. I could tell my story. That's where's my strength. So figure out what you're good at. What are you great at? And then really hone in on that. And then that's where you can find value in yourself and then build from there.
I think that's beautiful. I think that's something I always think about.
I think he meant
right?
to say it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. When I think about our podcast, and I think about what you just shared right now, that's that's something that some of our viewers, if our younger viewers, could take on too. Like, if you believe in your craft, you believe in the things that you want to do, that should inspire you, right? To hold that in and to move forward and to have that confidence no matter what. Because you said it, I had people critique me. I had haters go on my platform and comment all the negative things, and I still put my chin up, look up, right? And don't even turn back to them, because those are the folks that actually motivate me, right? And I think most of the guys in this room now here, even myself, as we are developing in our space and growing interpersonally where we want to be at today, there are times where those things were difficult. Those times were challenges. And you made a great point where you're telling these young folks to continue pushing and doing what you need to do to excel in the work and your craft. So that's a beautiful thing.
I love it. I love
For
it.
me,
Say
like-
that again.
So when you're doing these stuff, like, you get a lot of trolls. Has there ever been a comment that, like, kind of sting a little bit more than the other ones?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
You have to remember your most hateful
I'm
comment.
trying to. I don't know if it's because I'm come from a lot of trauma or something, but like when something is like mean, I dwell on it for a little bit and then it leaves my head and I don't remember. But I want to say there was this one time where this guy, it was like a regular ass video. I don't know. I don't even see what I did, but it was a regular ass
Did
video.
he say you were 5? So it happened.
No, he was like, "Oh, you're a whore," and I'm like,
What the fuck?
"What does that got to do with anything?"
What?
Because
You're
the
not
moose
even
knuckle.
subscribed to my OnlyFans.
Because the moose knuckle.
The moose knuckle.
You know
I
what it
didn't
is?
show my moose knuckles in that one.
You know what it is, right? It's because it's your Virgo side. It's like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, it's just gonna hit me and bounce right off. And then
Was he a loud person?
He was a loud person.
He was a loud person.
Oh, he's a hater.
That takes me back when I think about women. Right? You mentioned about privacy, women stepping out of their boundary to do something different. Even like your mom mentioned, right? Why are you working on that? Why are you doing that? You're wasting time. They see, I don't know. Maybe this person see that a loud woman should be doing cooking, staying at home, doing the other regular jobs.
But that's just
Shit,
the
I don't know how to
tradition.
do
That's a
that.
tradition.
That's your tradition,
But we still
you know
live
what
in
I mean?
that world where they may view that way.
Yeah.
And that comment makes me think about that. Like, why? Like, you're putting yourself out there. Oh my God, so judgmental. You're a freaking hoe, right? You're hanging out with 3 guys and you're by yourself. You might be
the 4th guy.
the 4th guy. I think about that, and
He forgot to count. He's not on the show because he knows how to count.
Counting himself.
I guess I need Henry home right now. I'm not an accountant. Basic math, right? No, I think about that, and
That's why you're not in counting.
I'm back, Mr. Sancho. Right here.
By the way, that puppet is just staring at me.
Yeah,
He's just
that was lucky. That was lucky 3
That was the
weeks
stand-in.
ago.
That was the stand-in.
So that is actually our special guest when none of the guys can make the show.
He's the fill-in.
And none of us have a
That's
hairy
the
chest.
fill-in,
I don't know
yes.
who has a hairy chest. I don't have a hairy chest.
We're all Asian.
We're all
Which
Asian.
one
We
has
don't
a
have no
hair?
hair. No, to go back, Victoria, like I think sometimes, because when I was growing up, I hear a lot like the loud men we're supposed to be this persona that we're supposed to be doing, and the women are supposed to be this character, right? And when you mentioned about that comment, it made me think about that a little bit. Like, you're not supposed to be in this space, Victoria. You're not supposed to be showing the whole world these skits, these movies, and bringing out the best of that, right? And now today, I see more women in this space than ever before. Like, how do you feel about that?
I think is great. I do want to comment that, like, when I'm looking at Lao leaders that are in my community, or even like just Southeast Asian, right? They're mainly women.
Women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're educators,
Yes.
principals.
Yes.
They have high positions, and I think I want to say is probably because the Southeast Asian men have to go into more laborious jobs, so it's not something they were prepped or even like ever considered to be like an educator.
So I feel like the women, right, from our generation, they want to break that glass ceiling. That's why they excel a lot faster. When they do, oh my gosh, just like that, they're community leaders. So that's probably the reason why. It's just motivated from the guys that are telling you that you're a hoe or a whore or whatever they're saying, because they're more old school. So these girls and women now that they're growing up to be it's just
I think equal opportunity
Yeah.
too, right?
I that makes a lot of sense, because when I grew up, it's like pretty old school too. So we're suppressed from power,
Yeah.
right? So once we
Yeah.
leave that, we have that drive to like go.
right.
No. I totally see it too, right? And I've met with you many times in the volunteer work that we do, in the space that we do. There's so many Southeast Asian women that are in those spaces, and when I think about your social media content, I even think about what we have today on TikTok, Instagram. There's more women doing that component of it and the leadership component than men, and that's a whole nother podcast, whole conversation. But I definitely wanted to just to get your take on it. And you mentioned, like, here in Fresno, there are more women that are in leadership role. And
I don't think it's just in Fresno in general, man. From a lot of the thing that's happening, a lot of the guys are losing their way.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
They're not stepping up to the plate as with the Southeast Asian women. Shout out to all of them, because they are stepping up to the plate. They're being the breadwinner. They're coming home taking care of the kid. They're coming home and excelling in all their endeavors and stuff. And the guys, they're just there. They're
they're
and
content, relaxed.
They're content,
Yeah,
relaxed.
they're
Like, you know
content.
what, baby? You go ahead, do your thing. I'm gonna stay home. And then what's happening too is that the relationship hits a glass ceiling, right? Where the women are evolving, but the men are kind of not evolving and staying
Yeah, so
still.
that's
And,
why
we
you
need to
see
step
that
up,
that gradual slowdown in men's growth, and in women just exceed, right? Because the guys, like, whether we believe it or say it or not, we kind of like take a step back recently, right? Because of all the women and transgender stuff. Because the men, we get kind of attacked too, right? In a sense of like, oh, we're not.
How do you get attacked, bro?
Men are evil.
Like that's how
Women
you
are
get
evil
attacked.
too. We're all evil up in here.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's where it's at. I mean, we're kind of taking a step back and let the women shine, because everything we do sometimes, like from the view of like the public, we're doing it wrong. We're doing it like this way. It's sexist and all this other stuff. So now it's only natural for us to take a step back and let the
I have
women
to
shine.
disagree.
Yeah, but you have to be strong in that, though. Yeah.
I feel like there are still men like
course.
Andrew Tate, or like just anything. Men are still the leaders
Yes.
in
Yes.
America for sure. And I don't think they're stepping back. I think they're stepping forward even more, because they're scared that things are going to be taken from them.
I don't know. For me, like, a lot of guys aren't pushing as hard just because they're afraid to be canceled. Just like Andrew Tate, he came out and he's saying a lot of facts, but the way he says it is a little too rough, and he got canceled. He doesn't have any social media anymore. So
He never did.
He did.
No, he never did.
Well,
He just moved to a
did-
different platform.
He did a pyramid platform.
Yeah. So he never posted anything. It was his followers
Yeah.
who posted his stuff. So he never had.
So
any,
he actually paid people
Yeah.
to do this pyramid
Exactly.
scheme, to where
Pyramid scheme.
they're posting for him. So it's getting his name and his recognition out there.
Well, he's on different podcasts.
But
He was-
that's what it was, Hustlers University.
Yes.
right there.
Yeah. I did a research on that because you mentioned him. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, who's this guy? So I did a research on him, and I do agree with many of the stuff he say, and I disagree with many of the stuff he say too. But like Charles is saying, he's kind of in your
rough.
face.
Yeah.
He's really blunt about these things. And a lot of people don't want to hear that stuff. So
Yeah.
So let me bring it back real quick, because with all these women that you were talking about that's doing things, is there anybody that inspire you, or like is your role model that you look up to?
Let me think.
Wonder
I
Woman.
always, this is like cliche, but I'm always going to say my mama. Because my mom, she's been through shit, right? So when she was 16, she got married. Young. She went through war. And we had the same story, right?
Yeah.
But she, and I want to say for Lao people too, we're always like happy-go-lucky people. And that's her. Like, she goes through all this shit, all this trauma in her life, and she still comes up smiling. She's still taking care of the people she's taking care of. And even if it has to be like picking more peppers, you know, like hustling, whatever it takes, she never stops.
It's crazy. My mom's like the same way because they went through the Khmer Rouge and she lost her entire family, and now she lost her mom like maybe 15 years ago, and that was it. Now she only has her uncle, right? So when she brings up all this stuff about, we bring up all the stuff about the troubles we have about financial situations, and when she has to say one phrase, it could be worse, and that hits home.
Yeah.
So and we just shut the hell up, and we just pick up ourselves up, and we better get going and do what's right. So
Yeah, you mentioned, your mom as a inspiration to you, and I think a lot of people that sacrificed, that made those decisions, like your parents coming to America, being first generation, like just to navigate this Western world, right? Getting on a plane. Nobody ever got on a plane to Laos in the 1970s, 1980s to get to the States, right? You think how much they endured, the sacrifice they did. And you share that, even coming here and running a 3-4 acre farm, picking peppers and long beans and all of it just to survive the tears and sweat that comes down your parents, right? That is the inspiring part. Yeah. And I think a lot of even us share very similar stories as first generation refugee, Yeah. And some of our audience as well, they could relate to some of this. Like you mentioned your mom, right? Was there something that was a hit for you growing up that your mom did that continue to uplift you every day till today as an adult?
I think a lot of people have this image of like Lao mothers where they're so like abusive or angry or something like that.
Yeah,
my mom was like, my mom was never like that. Oh. She never hit me.
What?
And
I'm shocked.
Yeah, my mom never hit me.
So you never got in
dad
trouble.
did.
My
dad
Thank you. My mom was.
Are you youngest?
So your sister?
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest.
Okay.
My sister have never got hit. I did though.
Your brothers
Really?
got hit.
I got hit. My dad was
moose
the one.
knuckle.
Oh, your dad was the punisher,
discipline.
the disciplinary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one time I had this conversation with my mom. I was like, Mom, why did that happen? Why did you allow that to happen for dad to do all that?
Sure.
Like that was crazy. Thinking the American way. And all she had to be like, it's not his fault. Because he was taught that way. That's all he knows.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you had to think about what do people know?
Right.
And then you don't do that. If you don't believe in that, then don't do that.
Right.
You can't blame someone else for the things that you do.
Sure.
And I'm just like, that was like, that is all he knows.
You can't blame them for something they don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, when we grow, when we evolve, and we learn, like, oh yeah, that's something I shouldn't do, and that's up to the person themselves to kind of like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna not do this anymore. I'm gonna try to do better for my kids, and so we evolve from there,
Yeah.
Second generation, it's kind of hard for us,
hard.
We're
Yep.
adapting,
You
You
mentioned
gotta
that.
break
like,
that generational trauma.
Yeah.
The generational trauma. Dude, my mental health coming in now. You mentioned this is a great.
Should we pass by your house next time?
You think about being a youngest female in your household. This might be a weird question to ask you, but boys, how did your parents feel about you dating, or was it a no, Victoria? You are not dating anybody.
As the youngest.
As the youngest,
As
being
the
a
youngest.
loud
As a
girl in
girl.
the house.
As a
As a
girl,
girl,
period.
period.
But okay, I do get it because I do get the way you're asking it, and I do get what you were saying. Because my sister, I have an older sister, right,
Sure.
Diana. So she was kind of like the model daughter. Perfect, know how to cook, clean the house. I'm not that. So I've always been the failure.
You're the black sheep.
Yeah.
Black
So it was like if I did anything wrong, they're just like, oh, it's expected. It's fine. But
No
my
warranty.
dad has never met my boyfriend, and we've been together for almost 12 years now.
You said
Yeah.
your dad, right?
My dad.
But your mom.
My mom has, yeah. So my parents are split.
Why?
So,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Next bit.
So, going back,
Yeah, we gotta go back.
Go back to what
you
you
guys are looking at me like, oh, what this fool gonna say right now?
What did we miss?
What are we going? What are
I'm
we going
waiting
back
for his
to?
question. Going back to elementary, do you remember your first crush?
It doesn't have to be elementary. It could be middle
It could
school.
be middle school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your first
I think
crush.
my first crush, I want to say that my very first crush was I went to Martin Luther King Elementary School.
Oh, West Side. West Side.
Wow.
Okay.
My first crush was Don Quell.
Don Quayle.
And he was a
Did he
black
ignore
guy.
you?
Yeah. No.
His name was Dong.
Dong?
Don Quell.
I heard Dong. And he's a black guy. Like, goddamn.
Okay, so like just thinking about
You
like
thought Vietnamese name like Don Quach?
he's like, I'm trying to imagine how
So
this
when
kid
you
looks.
first saw him, what happened?
First of all, I'm not like a very like I go for like looks or anything. He was the smartest guy in our class, so that's why I really liked him. We were the ones that were competing. You know when you did your multiplications and you try to be the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one and slap the freaking
Yeah,
paper down. Yeah, he was the first one. I was second. I was like, fuck.
So that was the connection right there. Y'all
Yeah.
you guys locked eyes when you finished your time test.
She
I
locked
look
eyes
around,
with Dong.
look around to see if anybody's still doing
Eyes
this.
with Dong.
And so at the same time, he finished it, right, looking at you. I was like, yeah, I want.
I got
Everything though, it was like silent reading. Whoever reads their book the fastest, he was always the first one. and I
What
was,
grade
like,
were
second.
you? What grade were you?
I want to say I was in third or fourth grade. Yeah. And then I never pursued it because I saw this girl, like profess her love to him. I'm just like, hey, I really like you. And he threw an apple at her, and I was like,
Oh, you guys are like the bad boys.
I was like, I'm weak.
Jeez.
You guys remember your first crush?
So,
Yeah, I even remember her name.
Did she throw an apple at you?
Michelle Rose.
Oh
In
man.
not middle school, but in elementary.
Oh,
grade?
Third grade as well.
Third grade as well?
Wow.
Hers was fourth grade.
Oh my
We
god.
were in we were in third grade as well. We were like in all our classes together, but I think the
there's
sparks
only
didn't
one-
happen until fourth grade.
You had more classes than one in elementary? I had one class.
No, it was
No,
one
like,
class, but
we were
she
in,
had
like-
second,
Oh,
third.
Yeah, because
okay,
we were
okay.
we're in the same hood, so we all went to the same school.
Oh, okay.
My first crush was a girl named Rose.
Rose.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Same
All
girl?
girls,
Same
girl.
girl?
It's the
Same girl.
Yeah.
BFFs?
Mine's
No,
fourth grade.
second grade.
Go back to you dating, right? You said your dad doesn't know who you're dating, but you have older brothers? Older brothers?
Yeah, I have
You don't
3
wanna say
older
his
brothers.
crush.
So how did they take that in the family? Were they okay with it?
Oh, they don't give a shit. They don't care.
Well, that's good. That's good. There's some overprotected loud brothers out there
Yeah.
that be like,
Yeah.
nah, you can't be dating.
That
You
gets
need
a
to go to
little
school.
sketch to me. I'm like, relax. Are you trying to date your sister?
Damn.
You just relax. Take it easy.
So, who was your first crush?
Oh man, I
Let's bring it back again.
bring it back again.
That's Toby's slogan today.
Nobody answered that shit. No, everybody answered
Actually-
here except you guys.
Well, I was, but he cut me off.
Charles said fourth grade. I heard him.
I said fourth grade.
I started.
Charles,
And like,
who was your question for?
so in fourth grade, her name was Giselle. It was kind of the same way because
Giselle?
Giselle.
Yeah, I don't remember her last name, but she was the smart one, and I was like, oh. And then we used like always compete. The same thing. It was like, oh, I kind of like this girl. She's kind of cute. I don't think she was cute at the time, but I was like, oh, she's cute.
It was
look
the
at her now.
enemies to lovers trope.
Yeah.
Giselle, you're watching this.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
you. It was you.
If
Shin kick that he did, that meant he loved
Giselle,
Yeah.
you watching this
Giselle?
right now? You had your chance.
Giselle, I remember we're in Barnum at fourth grade. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I forgot the teacher's name. I forgot the teacher's name, but
Bring back memories,
How about you,
man. You know what? For me, I didn't realize it till part when I got in 8th grade when someone asked me that same question.
8th grade?
8th grade. In 8th grade, they asked me that question. Who was your first, well, a little crush, whatever. Has to be this girl named Nikki. We were in 2nd grade together. We played basketball.
Hey,
she
Nikki,
was the
you're
hottest.
so fun.
Crazy. She was the hottest tomboy. She was a tomboy.
oh, so you're in dudes. Okay.
Not that. She wore shoes.
She wore shoes.
I'm glad she wore shoes to school.
She played sports with me, man.
She
And
dunked on
They
you.
had a lot of things in common.
we played
They wore
together.
shoes. Yeah,
The
they both wore shoes.
The crazy part was she was as athletic as I was, and it was a girl. And at that time, I didn't know that. I knew the difference, but I didn't know that an opposite could have the same, masculine as me.
The loud tradition right
playing
here.
sports, right? And this girl was shooting.
She was
3-point
different.
line.
She was different.
She was doing 3-point line, and I was barely shooting my 3-point line as well. I'm like, man, we look different, but you could shoot like me too. But
They're not second grade?
It became a love and basketball story.
Eighth grade.
Oh, eighth grade. My bad.
It
Why did
became
I
a
hear-
love and basketball story. I was thinking love and basketball. Damn.
So your first crush was in 8th grade?
No, second grade.
No, that was in second grade.
So
I
you
didn't
were
realize it.
You guys shooting threes in second grade?
We were shooting
That's
threes.
what I'm saying. I heard,
Second grade and third grade.
8th grade.
So I'm glad.
but I think
I
their
wish-
courts are shorter.
Yeah. I wish she was watching this.
He was like 2 feet.
Hey, but let me ask you something quick though.
It's
So
the
the other
little
girls in your
tights.
class, they don't wear shoes?
No. What I'm saying, they did wear shoes, but if I had basketball shoes on, she had basketball shoes on.
Oh.
The other girls had whatever little.
They got
got
Payless
those-
shoes.
No, they got those
Yeah.
gel.
No, Victoria was saying in second grade, the court was like 4 feet high.
Yes.
So
No,
you
we
can't
were
be shooting threes.
No, we were shooting threes.
Huh?
It could be one hand, it could be underhand, but we were shooting threes. We were doing it.
Okay, remember, like,
Yeah,
in,
we were doing it.
In
I
second
feel
grade,
like you remembered this
If
one.
you look, if you
she
rehearse
broke
this
his heart.
story,
She broke his heart.
Toby, the elementary courts actually are a lot smaller. If you go to elementary right now, they're actually a lot shorter than the typical. You're looking at your gym three. They're not that long. They're really small.
Bro, but at that time,
At
you were
that
like
time-
3 feet tall. So, you're
See,
shooting three.
And at that
That's-
time, we also could throw it one hand too, right? We were learning how to throw it hand. We throw it underhand. To me, that was very attracting to see.
Don't you always throw a basketball in one hand?
Yeah, at that age group, yeah, we did one hand or even
don't play
underhand.
sports.
We did underhand a lot. We threw underhand, but
So you thought you were badass, and here comes this
here
girl.
comes this girl. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like you, man. This is kind of awesome, But yeah, that was my little short crush that I had. So
He fell
if
for her when
Nikki-
she
if
broke
you
his
watching
ankles.
this,
When she dunked on him.
I would love to have a conversation with her.
Hey,
But Nikki,
you sure you want to invite her to your house?
She had her chance.
And invite her to a
podcast.
one-on-one.
Oh, yeah,
hot takes.
I'd love to play one-on-one with her any day.
Oh, okay.
So Victoria, back to you. I know. We talked about us. I'm getting red as my shirt right now. We talk about you and your development and your growth in the socials, content creator space. Also, viewers, Victoria is special to us because she also does our editing and helps supports the work that we do here. So it's delightful to have her on our space, and she's actually our first female guest to be on our podcast. So we were really happy to have you.
It
on
had
the
to
show.
be.
Get a round of
It had to be.
applause.
It had to be. So
I'm over editing your talking about boners and farting and shit.
Well, you get a kick of listening to it, though, right?
No, the next section is gonna be about ghost dicks. So stay tuned for that
Charles
one.
loves talking about this ghost dick stuff.
I know. He's
You're
like,
mentioning.
I said phantom
How do you
penis.
feel, though, about
ghost sticks?
this? Yeah, ghost stick.
No, it
You
could
wanna
be
go
one
down
floating
right-
right next to my head.
Let's save that for next session. Let's save
So
that
when
for
you're
next
coughing,
session.
right? But how do you feel about the direction of the podcast and what we're doing? Since you are editing our stuff, you're getting firsthand listening to what we're saying, and before the audience get to hear it, before it goes
How do you
out.
feel about what we're doing?
Well, I've talked to Charles about this. I really like you guys' energy. That's the one thing that a lot of podcasts are missing, like that energy, that bond. And you guys are friends since forever ago. So you could really see that. You could see the connection between you guys. So it's not fake. It's like raw, like good energy.
Right.
So I think that's that one thing that's going to really propel you forward, because like I said, like with Instagram, everything is kind of curated. Everything is kind of like a little fake. It's not like, not fake, but it's like, it's
100
Trying
takes.
too hard.
yeah. They're like, there's a lot of,
It's too edited.
too edited. There's too much thought
It's
into it.
not real.
Yeah.
It's not genuine.
But you guys come together and you guys don't really have an agenda and you come out and talk and you could go on and keep talking.
So you're saying us old guys could be popular one day?
She's just as old, okay?
Okay, we say us old guys.
Wait,
Why don't age for her?
Hey, we
Look
gonna
at
make
Toby,
it.
'cause he
Keep
look
telling me
younger
I'm
than
young.
all
I'm
of
gonna
us,
take
but-
it.
So Victoria, now like you've done social media for almost 2.5, 3 years. You develop a fan base. Everybody appreciate the work you do. What is some future projects that you're looking at that you're wanting to do, and where are you going to hit that ceiling? What are you doing next?
You asked that earlier, right?
Besides,
I'm gonna do YouTube.
besides the Body Fest, like, is there any other thing?
What's the next big project?
Yeah, the next big project that you want to do.
She just said YouTube.
Okay, well then, other than YouTube, I
Losing my
have
brain
a
cells.
lot of ideas, and I'm kind of cocky in the way that I really think that I'm talented.
Yeah,
and
you
I
are.
can do a lot
But
of
you
things.
need that,
yeah,
though.
yeah,
You
yeah.
need that.
You want to be the crazy rich Asian, the next actress in that.
One of my biggest
Crazy
project,
poor Asians.
That's me right now. I don't want to stay there. It's not going to be lateral. I want to move up. I don't know if I invited, I know Toby was in it, Southeast Collective. So that's another brand that I'm working on. So I wanted to create a platform for Southeast Asian, creators where they could have maybe like seminars for us or conferences and just
What about a bigger gala? You mentioned LACF had a big, amazing gala a couple weeks ago. What about, do you see a bigger Southeast Asian type
Like
gala?
something like
I don't want to do a gala.
You don't want to do
Everybody's doing a gala, okay? No offense, but I just don't want to be the person
What
that
about
put on a
bringing the
gala.
whole Lao, Khmer, Hmong
Yeah, yeah.
community, that type of gala for the whole state of California? Let's say.
Well, I don't want to do a gala. I don't want to do it,
Bro,
Lucky.
she don't want to do a gala, bro.
I want to do
a talent show.
like a conference, like a thing where people could come in, have like a mixer, have workshops
mixer.
where they could grow
mixer.
And a convention.
mixer.
Like a convention mixture, like
Kind of network and
network
kind of
meet
like,
and
hey,
get to know each
I
other.
like that.
I like
yeah.
that too. That's not a bad idea. Where will we put that? Here in Fresno? Central California?
I haven't got there yet.
at your house, bro.
But, SenCal has a lot of Southeast Asian. Was there like 10,000 Lao people here?
We
I
need a
don't
good
know.
venue. We need something that will be popping, be very catchy for people to
We.
We
come.
I heard that too.
I kind of like that idea. Maybe we should start something
Hey,
like
you
that.
need to calm your big picture. Hands down right now.
Like Victoria didn't know when she signed a contract with us. Like she stuck with us.
She stuck with us.
Hey, this better we get successful now. If she gets successful, we're coming along.
Our idea.
You have our support now. You have our support.
Remember,
idea.
Victoria, when we had that meeting?
Yeah.
October
So you-
2nd.
You mentioned like the collective, Southeast Asian collective that's bringing people together. We have a podcast here. We want to expand this session, right? Who do you have in mind that would like to possibly participate in the next session in the future? Can you shoot out some names for us that we can bring on to the show?
Like if I say it and
Why
they're
not?
like, I don't
That
wanna
puts them
be
on the
that.
spot. You know that puts them on the spot.
They don't have a choice
No,
now.
I
They
think
have
he had
to
a
come-
lot
they
to
have to come-
drink.
Yeah, we have to put him on the spot. Now they have to come
know what?
join our podcast.
I have another question though.
Yeah, okay.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back, Toby.
If you could compare your face to a vegetable, what kind of vegetable?
Don't say eggplant. Please don't say eggplant.
I'll go first. How would you like this question?
I think I would be like a mango because my face is different.
That's a fruit.
Different color.
No, he said mangled, not mangled.
Mango.
Fruit.
Fruits and vegetables.
You're right though.
Okay.
Because you know how it's green and red, so when I drink, it changes
when you
color.
edit,
You know?
when you edit, make sure you put this clip on right now.
Put a mango on his head.
The lollipop, the Mexican mango
Madness.
lollipop.
So, Toby, besides a fruit, what is about a vegetable? What are
What
you?
vegetable?
vegetable
Probably
do you feel you are?
He's a bitter melon.
You're right, man. It's probably a bitter melon. I'm sitting here like, damn, you know?
All bumpy and bitter.
On my face? Like, God, I need to use some more facial cleansing. What about you, Charles?
Charles, what about you?
Wait, she didn't answer yet.
Yeah, what about
You know, we'll let her go last. Give her a chance to think. Give her a chance to think.
Let her go last.
Because this is a deep question. It requires a lot of brain
I feel like
power.
he's gonna bring up like this paper.
crying
If
right
you
now.
choose.
Oh God, I'm crying right now. Victoria, what is your fruit? What is your vegetables? I'm sorry.
Wait, we're gonna let her go last. Okay, wait. So mine.
Cartoon pomade pinot. Like cartoon.
Do we have to stick to Asian vegetables?
No. Because I was thinking potato.
Potato?
Yeah, so potato.
Oh, yeah, lumpy.
I got like little craters.
Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head.
Okay, it does.
I have a little bit of craters. But you know, like
I
you
can
could
see
make
that.
you can make a great meal out of me.
I can see it.
You're very versatile.
Yes, my face is very versatile.
Oh my
Be a French fry.
It could be French fries. It could be mashed potatoes.
You are Idaho potato, bro.
Idaho potato. Wait, let me answer for Lucky though.
Oh no, I know what vegetable I
Okay,
am.
go ahead.
Y'all
Say
gonna laugh.
Say it, tomato.
Y'all gonna laugh. I'm a Chinese purple eggplant, man.
What?
I'm a
How you
Chinese.
purple eggplant.
I'm a Chinese
I
eggplant.
was thinking
Your
aroma
face
tomato.
does not
I
look-
was thinking aroma
Yeah.
tomato.
Okay, I could do tomato. I'm a cherry tomato. How about that?
No, ain't no cherry.
That's cherry tomato, bro.
That's too small.
No.
Tomato.
Bigger.
Tomato.
It doesn't look like an
Bigger.
eggplant either.
Maybe inside of a watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
Honeydew or something. Give me a honeydew or something.
Kind of melon.
He said the inside of a watermelon.
I see a tomato.
Or a green pumpkin or something. my squash.
Alright, Sam, you.
Oh my God.
I don't want to answer now.
Oh, you gotta answer, bro.
You guys, what other vegetables are there?
I don't know. You
So
look like
many.
an onion.
A squash?
I think you look like an onion. You look like an onion.
Oh, that's nice of you. Can I be a garlic then?
You can be a garlic.
Give me a garlic.
I was gonna say you have
Face does
layers.
not look like garlic.
You have layers to this.
You overripe garlic.
Roasted garlic.
You know what? Fresno produced the most garlic, so there's a whole festival after you. So
Oh my
that's good.
god.
Oh, my
Right.
stomach's hurting, man.
Yeah, roasted garlic. It goes with in every
Oh
pho.
my no. I want to say I'm a. How do you say in English? A
What is it?
pakbong.
Oh, morning
It's
glory.
the morning,
Morning
glory,
glory.
spinach.
Spinach.
Not
Morning-
morning glory
morning
in the
glory.
way that you're thinking. It's a spinach. It's a water spinach.
Water spinach.
What is it called?
Oh,
What is it called?
Pakbong.
Pakbong. Morning glory.
Morning
glory. Yeah. It's
I
called
was really thinking like a Napa cabbage for you.
Napa cabbage.
A cabbage?
No, I feel like I have more flavor than that. I have more flavor than a
He
cabbage.
gave you no. It's better than lettuce.
stomach hurts.
Bok choy. I'll give you bok choy. How about bok choy?
No, I'm a
Audience,
spinach.
If you're watching this, man, we apologize.
Green and
we are dying
leafy.
over here.
My bad,
my
guy.
God.
That question just popped in my head, but I don't know where it came
I
from.
don't know what this got to do with anything.
Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. So
That's a new line, dude. Let me bring it back. That's a good one.
let me bring it back. So you say your mom was the your inspiration. For me, I honestly thought your older brother Chinda would have been your inspiration.
No.
Why not? You didn't feel like you,
You
had
know
to step
what?
out of his shadow? Because I know
No.
he does a lot of things.
No. I think he needs to step out of my shadow.
Okay.
I
Okay.
like that.
I like that.
Chinda, if you're watching
Hey.
this, this was not scripted. That was
You know
all
what?
real.
Yes.
He's gonna be like, hey.
So he say she's a Virgo. He's a Leo.
Well, tell the audience what that means, because I have no idea what the hell that means.
Well, their energies are two very different energies. They're not the same. She's more grounded. As with a Leo, it's a fire sign, so they're more bold, more courageous. They're going after these things, but they're not as grounded as the earth signs.
Yeah, my brother's a little bit more aggressive. I
Yeah.
can say that. I should be more aggressive in things, but I like
You
to
don't give a
think
fuck.
a lot
Yeah.
about stuff, and then I run with it because I know I did all my research. I'm like, I know everything about this.
Are you detailed too? Are you a detail-oriented person?
Are you
yeah,
analytical? That's what you're saying.
anytime I'm in like any meeting or anything like that, I'm always taking minutes. I'm always writing down everything just so that people could
Attention
be
to
like,
detail.
yeah, we did talk about this.
Attention to detail.
I got the
Yeah,
evidence.
you're sitting on the right side then. You're
So,
sitting with us.
we're outnumbered now. We're outnumbered now.
These guys, their heads are in the cloud.
Yeah.
We need to bring Chinda in here because we don't have to know about what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, Chinda's aggressive. He should come on this side.
Yeah, he can come after me.
We got the right Bong Kampao over here.
I'm actually a Posicale.
World?
Is there like a sibling war too when you guys are in your space? Because I know your family, like your sister, does a lot of food blogging and social media, and she also sells amazing food. And then your brother does his own, content creating. When you guys have a family gathering, is it some conversations about what you guys are doing? What are you guys working on? How can you guys support one another? Or is it more like, I'm better than you?
No, it's more arm
You guys
wrestling.
following me.
It's a little bit of both.
both,
Because
yeah.
like we do, when I have an idea or when she has an idea or whatever, we always like, oh, you should do this. You should do this. You should do that. And then we just help each other. But when it comes to coming to like dinner and then when Chinda comes over, I'm like, I don't even know why you have more followers than me because I'm better than you. I'm funnier than you.
You know what he does that I respect is that he just does it and just put it out there.
Yeah.
Because I seen some of his videos. I'm like, bro, like, was this only that one take and you just put it up?
That's what he said. He said every morning he would do a take or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
and
that
it just
goes-
throws it out there.
Yeah, that goes back to like having confidence in yourself, right, and doing it, and you got to continue pushing that. You know,
Power
what I mean? And
consistency,
man, and that's what I appreciate about him too. So yeah, wow. So there is a balance between you guys.
Yeah, I should definitely be more consistent, but
Yeah,
I'm always
yeah.
like second guessing things. I'm like, and then I miss like the trends on TikTok because I have it drafted and then I don't post it.
Chinda's a very yoked guy, so he always want to arm wrestle everybody. Can you beat him in arm wrestling?
I mean, probably. I was just kidding.
I knew it. Say no more.
Yoked, but then like just because you have muscle doesn't mean that all your fat is gone. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, his
I'm not.
nickname is-
This is like a Chinda hating podcast. Just kidding.
Whoa. We're not going there. We're not going there.
I come from exercise science background, so like
What's
I was going towards PT like Sam, so I graduated with exercise science. So I
You went
know.
to Fresno State?
Yeah, I went to Fresno
Okay.
State.
Good.
See,
So I have a background of exercise and stuff.
so like when I was going to school, I remember taking PE in high school. I'm like, man, why is this a class besides making us work out? But people actually go to college and study PE, and I never understood that. Now I do. Because we're doing you guys, I'm pointing straight at you, Sam.
PE.
Yeah.
PE.
Yeah, physical education.
Oh.
Is that not the same thing as PT? Kinda.
No.
No.
So
No, that's not what I do. I don't make the patients run 2 laps. Okay.
2.5 lap.
I would be a lot
so
fatter if I was a PE teacher.
All Sam does is make them do their pelvic tilts, make sure their lower back is safe.
Yes.
Bend over.
Pelvic tilts.
Bend.
This is all pelvic tilts.
What do you guys?
Pelvic floor exercises.
Yes.
Look that up.
Would you and Chinda ever
It's
like
just
collaborate?
Kegels. Yeah, I keep asking him. I was like, why don't you want me on your videos, man?
Because you could outshine him.
That's true. I'm just a ray of light.
Yeah,
a
because
ray
you're
of
6 and
sunshine.
7 and he's a 5, right?
You know,
I want to take it back.
I'll give you a 7.
Take it back.
I want to take it in a good way.
Okay.
You mentioned you graduated school, Fresno State, right? Mostly a lot of Southeast Asian household, the traditional route is letting your kids go to college, go find a job, be successful in that career. And sometimes that may not be the case. I didn't do that. Some of us didn't do that in this room, and you look at all these young viewers that are watching this podcast and we're uplifting, empowering young men and women. Like, did you feel that once you graduated college, you needed to work in that field? And apparently you're working as a content creator. You don't have to have that traditional route to be successful. Am I correct? You can go do whatever you want to do besides having that over you, like, oh, I graduated college. This is the route, the right way, which my parents may want this, but I'm going a totally different route to be successful. Like, how do you take that?
I think it's different for me because like I said, I'm like used to being the failure because
You're a graduate. You're not a failure.
I'm not using it. You're not using my degree.
But
I
you
tried
have it in
to.
your back
I tried
pocket,
to. Yeah. If I wanted to, I could just like go and
Be a
do
PE teacher.
doctorate. But yeah, a PE teacher. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
My original plan was to, even going to exercise science was an accident too, because I took athletic training and I thought we were just gonna be working out, but we actually like start like doing stuff for injuries and stuff.
Sure.
And then I found my passion in that, did volunteer with following the football team for Fresno City. And, you know, I went and worked at St. Agnes doing cardio rehab. But it was just like, became so redundant for me. Sorry. It just became it was for me, I just kept feeling like I was doing the same thing. And I was like, this is not different from what I was doing before. There's no, like, I always need to do something. I need to work towards something. I need a different project. I need a different push.
So for my therapy folks, we don't do the same thing, okay?
PE.
But I did go into sports rehab first, and then I worked my way into inpatient. So I'm trying to figure out what I like most. So it does have different avenues, right? Therapy-wise. So if you can, I'm always going to push for therapy. You know that? Yeah. So can agree.
Yeah.
If she can become a therapist, why not, right?
Yeah, why not?
If I were to go back, one thing that stopped me was physics. I hate physics. That's the one thing. But if I were to go back and pass physics, then I probably would go into like sports physical therapy.
Yeah.
And just travel with a sports team.
Yeah. That was my hardest course too, was physics.
I got another question for you.
Let's bring it
take
back.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Don't ask me
My
any
question was
physics
pretty damn
questions.
good, guys.
What's your favorite fruit?
No, since you're well known out in the the community in the social media field, right? Have you ever met somebody or you seen somebody far away and you kind of wave at them, but it wasn't really the person that you thought it was? Have you ever had that experience? That kind of like,
You know, worse. I waved at people and they didn't know who I was. Hey, and they go. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Because you didn't know who they were, and you just felt like, I kind of know them. I don't want to be rude. I'm gonna say hi, and then they just look at you like what the fuck?
They waved at someone else behind you, and then you wave back.
Yeah,
and
it's
they
one of
just,
those.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
one of those.
Yeah.
I think I might come off standoffish is because
You do kind of come off standoffish. You do.
I don't initiate like a conversation or say hi to people because so many times people don't remember who I am, so I just stop doing it.
That's because you're a Napa cabbage.
I'm not a cabbage. I have more flavor.
But you do come off like that though, because your energy is like, I think it's more like, oh, I'm gonna observe first, and then I'm gonna, see how
she's
to
humble,
react.
man. She's humble. She wants people to like I'm not gonna tell you who I am. I want you to guess who I am. Speaking of that, have you ever had a crazy fan? Like have you ever had somebody like say the oddest weird things, like when you do a meet and greet? Am I saying this wrong?
Yes, you got the meet and greet. You got the meet and greet.
Right,
Those 2 words.
It was only 2 words.
I went back to the fruit thing. That was on my mind right now. Have you ever had like a crazy fan do anything like bizarre to you?
As a woman, I'm always ready for someone to hit on me, and it's just like there was this one guy that kept messaging me, and he's like, "Oh, I really want to work with you. Let's."
He went in your
like,
DMs.
Yeah, he went in my DMs. He was like, "I want to work with you. I want to collab on a video." I was like, "Oh, sure. We could like stitch it, as in like."
What's that?
You stay
Like,
where you're at.
Yeah, you stay where you're at. I stay where I'm at.
Oh, he wants to meet in person?
Yeah. He wanted to meet in person, and he's like,
wow.
I was like, oh, I don't really travel for this kind of work. I
fly
just
you
started.
out, Victoria.
And he's like, yo, I'll pay money, blah 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 blah. And I was just like,
Does
blocked.
he want to pay?
I
Why are you
didn't.
blocking? That could have been an opportunity.
No, it's an opportunity to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous, man, because they face something different. Their world is very different from ours.
Was he a
man.
loud person?
Yeah, he was allowed.
Oh, he was a loud person.
Yeah.
There's more chance of danger
There's
than
more
actual
chance of danger.
success.
Yep. All right, guys, we're kind of coming up on the hours here, so we want to kind of give you the last say on this, Victoria. What would you say to kind of our audience, that's kind of trying to get into your sphere of what to do, and what would be your advice to everybody out there?
If you are doing something right now and you like it and you genuinely feel like you're good at it, just keep going. There's hella haters. There's hella people that's gonna put you down. I know for a fact, like my mom says I look crazy and stuff, but I just keep going. If you know yourself, you know your future, right? Just keep going.
Yeah.
Like ignore all the haters, like ignore all the doubt. And then there's another hater that you have to ignore too, yourself. Cause like for me, a lot of times I doubted myself, and then there's the other side of me that's just like,
Keep going.
shut the hell up, bitch. You are good at this.
Yeah.
Keep going. People actually like you.
Yeah.
Do they? I'm just kidding. I like you.
myself.
That comes down to the biggest enemy is yourself,
Yes,
huh?
that's
Yeah.
very true.
And before we let this go, if people want to reach out to you, how do they reach out to you?
Yeah.
And how would they reach out to you where you would actually respond and not in a non-creepy way?
Yeah, not a creepy way.
Nah, don't DM her.
Don't DM
Hey,
her.
beautiful.
Hey, beautiful.
Hey, I think you're actually an 8. I'm just kidding. Yeah, just reach out to me. I pretty much respond to everybody until you like start getting creepy. So just don't get creepy, you know? If you wouldn't talk to your mom that way, then don't talk to me that way.
Talk to me like I'm your mom.
Yeah, mother.
Hey, man.
Hey, mother.
Hey.
Hey, mommy. No, just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. That one loud girl. Find me on Instagram and Facebook. I will respond. Make
Yes.
sure that you like
Yes.
respect me.
Yes. And for the audience, we will definitely have her name and link on our bio, on the YouTube and our Instagram reels and all that social media content now in session. This one loud girl, we really appreciate your time, Victoria. I know you're a busy woman. And please keep us in touch with things that you're doing. And audience, thank you so much for watching. We'll check you out next time. all right?
Wait. Don't forget to like, subscribe,
and share.
Share the
Ring the notification bell.
bell.
It definitely helps out a lot.
Yep.
And we appreciate everyone that's been tuning in. We look forward to having maybe touch up with Victoria in a year or two, see where she's at. So
We're
thank
gonna wait
you.
that long to have her back?
Man, she's here with us all the time.
You're fired, bro. We're gonna have her back in a couple of months.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Good session.
Out.